Hello students, this is Mrs. Moore, Summer School, ELA 7, Lesson 3.4, so Week 3, Day 4. And if you look on your guide, you can see that Day 4 is the history of cornmeal in American kitchens is of comfort and connections. Okay, so an interesting story to which we can all relate about food. Okay, we see here it is. And it opens with this wonderful kind of nasty story, right? A little bit. A woman once says to this other woman at a dinner party, "It's a shame you don't have a food heritage." I wonder if she got a glass of wine thrown in her face for her nastiness. But this woman had been Hungarian and thought Americans don't have any kind of food tradition. The wonderful thing about Americans, of course, is and the article doesn't say this, but we all have different heritages. I know some of you have a Hispanic heritage, some of you African American heritage, English, all sorts of things. I personally have a German heritage, and which means that I grew up being offered things like sauerkraut and like kielbasa sausages, and we would have German Day festivals when I was growing up in Ohio, where there are all kinds of beer and heavy German foods. I admit I don't particularly like heavy German foods, but that's your culture. Let's see. The interesting thing, of course, is that we have different sorts of foods we eat based on where we live in this country, too. For example, I grew up eating Taco Bell and thinking that was delightful Mexican food. Yum, yum, right? And my husband, who was from Texas, really preferred a Tex-Mex food, authentic, and he thought Taco Bell was just nasty and bland and horrible and liked things that were much spicier. And we have discovered he has a much stronger preference for spice than I do, and a lot of that is because that's how he was raised, right? And so it's interesting. Talk to your parents about their heritage and things like that and traditional foods they cook. Now, according to this article, cornmeal is something we all have in common in this country, and that in different parts of the country it is prepared in different ways in different recipes. Have you ever made cornbread? It's actually pretty easy. I have made it where it's sweet. I have made it where it's had spicy Mexican cheese and peppers in it. I prefer it sweet. My husband prefers it spicy. But it's wonderful that food can feel like home. As it says, it's comfort and connection, okay? It's more than just what keeps us alive, isn't it? You can eat something and feel your grandmother's presence, or just happy and safe. And so this is something cornmeal provides us, right? And what you are meant to do is you are meant to annotate it, of course, so make your notes out to the side. And then you're supposed to write a paragraph explaining how cornmeal represents your history, simply history and heritage. So here you're looking at the article itself. What point is the article making about the way cornmeal represents history and heritage? And then you write one more paragraph, paragraph 2, explaining why food is so important to your culture or American culture. So this is where you can, maybe you help your folks in the kitchen, or you can ask them, do we use cornmeal in our cooking? And can you explain that to me? And where did you learn that? Was it grandmother, grandfather? Where does this come from? And this can open up a wonderful conversation about your heritage. And let's see, you're also supposed to use some evidence from the article to support this. So see where you fit in here. Okay, do you fit in because this is what African American babies ate when they were young, or people of Native American culture, or from New England, or how do you fit into all of this? So when these assignments ask you to think about yourself, I find, right? It's more fun to write about yourselves than a drier topic. So I wish you well, and until next time, toodaloo.